Some new and troubling statistics have come out with regards to lawyers and loneliness, particularly male lawyers, who are almost 3 times as likely to consider suicide if they are quote unquote lonely on a certain scale. Now, I'm no stranger to loneliness. I fight depression. Loneliness is an aspect of that. And back in 2005, that summer, if you know my story, I was extremely lonely and I went beyond contemplating suicide. I obtained a weapon and I was very lucky that some people cared for me and reached out to me and checked on me. And my brothers came into my house and I had a weapon on my nightstand and I was high on cocaine and had taken Xanax. And if not for the uh, affirmative actions of some people in my life, I would not be here today. So I'm very thankful that they reached out. And that's one of the things we, forget about, some of the simple things in dealing with suicidal ideation and people who are lonely and people who are depressed. You can't control every moment of their lives. People are tragically going to slip through the cracks. We can't be there every moment. But we can look for signs and we can reach out, right? We can be part of that circle of care, that circle of trust, even if the person may not really want us to be. And we can ask those 2 questions. How are you doing? And before that conversation breaks, do you know that I'm here for you if you want to talk? Will that do the trick? Not always. But what you've done is you've started this thought process, hopefully, where maybe if the next person does that and the next person asks the 2 questions, the 2 question rule, that eventually the person will say, yes, I'm ready. I need help. What can we do? And again, it's not always going to be that simple, and I understand that. So, how can we combat loneliness? Let me tell you one of the things I've done. I took up singing. Yes, combating loneliness, facing my vulnerability. When growing up, I always wanted to play the piano like Billy Joel. Well, I can't be Billy Joel. Nobody else can be Billy Joel but Billy Joel. I couldn't play by ear. I had to practice, repetition. So that wasn't going to work, right? I took my piano lessons. Brian, take those piano lessons. Practice, 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 like most Jewish mothers do. And then I wanted to sing like Billy Joel. Well, my singing was croaking. I tried singing one time at Emma Kaufman Camp, which is a camp where Jewish people primarily attend in Pennsylvania. And I decided to get up there and sing the Beatles' Let It Be. I was going to face my fears. The music started and all that came out was so I gave up singing, and that is how I remembered my singing voice. And I have a very deep voice, and what some people may say is a voice kind of made for radio. So I never sang again, except in the shower, where we all sound like singing better, where we all sing better because of the hard walls reflect and the resonance comes back to our ears, and we're going to sound better. That's just the science of it. And so I would sing in the car, sing in the shower, but never really facing my vulnerability. And I finally took lessons about 8 months ago. And then I also began working with a vocal therapist because I decided that singing, the process of learning how to sing, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to join a band, would help me with my public speaking, which I do quite a bit of, with regards to lawyers and addiction and depression. And it allowed me to face the vulnerability of listening to my own voice, which I just hated, right? You give an interview, it's on the news. No, I'm not watching that. I'm not listening to that. You give an interview on the radio because I hate the sound of my own voice. I decided to face that. And it has other benefits, right? When in trial, whether we're advocating for a client, facing vulnerability and expanding our vulnerability limits can be beneficial in facing our imposter syndrome, right? I can't sing, I'll never be able to sing. Why even try? Well, I tried. And I'm still taking lessons. I'm still working with a vocal coach. And here is the result of it. And I would never let anyone hear this even 2 months ago. I hope you enjoy it. Find something you're passionate about and give it a try. Expand those limits. Fight the loneliness. And if you think someone is dealing with suicidal ideation, help them not be lonely. Reach out. Let them know you care. Ask the 2 questions.